Welcome back, everyone, to another episode in this 1.18 world where we take a look at playing Minecraft in a new light, but that new light being the old light. So a new old light. Hey, thank you guys so much for your response to the last episode. My favorite part of that video was the fact that the comments opened up so much conversation. And no one was like, actually, Kyle, you're wrong. No, everybody was just like, well, actually, here's my reason for being burned out, which I knew. Listen, I joked in the last episode that like YouTubers are to blame. Obviously, that's not the case for everybody. I just think that's the case for a good number of people, especially aspiring content creators. I think it's especially for them. But anyways, I digress. Thank you, though. Thank you for your awesome comments, and I look forward to getting more insights from you as well. In the first episode, we took the time to find our forever home in this new world, and the objective was to find home, but don't settle. And I'd like to add something to that, if I may. I realized there's a third piece to that. Find home, but don't settle, and sleep on it. I came up with this idea because during the editing and proofing of that episode, I fell in love with one particular location, which I'll show you in just a minute. It's just a beautiful example of the gorgeous 1.18 terrain generation, but kind of like nestled in a small area. And so we'll take a look at the area I've chosen. It's a rather large area, but anyways, we'll look at that in a second. As I was flying around this area, though, my mind was just filled with all sorts of ideas and plans for future builds and like just, I could do this here and that there. And I was reminded of how satisfying it is to look back on a world you've been working on for like a really long time and seeing everything that you've created. And then I felt the pressure of all of the work that I was putting myself into. And everything I had not completed yet, and everything all the things I was giving myself to do. And I realized through that what the objective of today's video is. Look ahead, count to 3, stop. One of the most defining moments in the show Lost was when it's early on in the series, like maybe even the first episode, actually. Yeah, I think it is the first episode. Jack asks Kate to like stitch him up. He's like bleeding really bad. And she's like amazed at how calm he is throughout the entire thing. And after the plane crash and stuff. And she asks him, like, everyone else is freaking out. How is it that you are so calm? And he proceeds to tell a story about when he was a spinal surgeon, and he was operating on a woman who there was a really bad accident. Like he slipped or something happened. I don't remember what exactly happened, but something bad and catastrophic, and he had to fix it. But he froze. He froze as like this woman is dying. And he told himself, I'm gonna allow myself 3 seconds of fear. I'm gonna let the fear take hold of me. Oh gosh, that chicken scared me. I'm gonna let the fear take over me for 3 seconds. And then I'm gonna push it aside. I'm gonna finish the job. I'm gonna sew her up and we're gonna be done. And that's what he did. That's where I'm getting the count to 3 in this bit. Right? Look ahead, count to 3, stop. So here I was in our starting area, which yes, right now you're saying, Kyle, this is the first area you found. Yes, it is. But I picked it for a new reason that we did not talk about last time. I showed it. It was in the video, but it wasn't until like actually watching the video that I like gasped and I was like, nope, this is it. This is where I want to be. But we're going to start here. This is what we're going to call our starter island. You can see I've got the trees all cleared out and stuff. And now it's time to farm things that aren't dark oak trees. But anyways, as I was looking around this area, and one of the reasons I I love this area is this river right here. It comes over here to this starting island, right? It even goes out that way somewhere. I don't remember where that goes. But let's follow this river around, because as I'm traveling it, I'm seeing things and I'm like, oh, this would be cool to do. This would be cool to do. And so far it's nice, but it's not spectacular yet. Until you get up here and the cliffs appear. And suddenly you have this canyon with a river in it. And it gets even tighter here in a second as we wind around. And we're still not to the best part. But see this? See this? Look. And even along all of these edges, there's all these cool areas. That's moss down there. It's just so cool. And there's little caves and all these different spots. Look at this cave. Look at this cave. This is still just building up to the best part. And somewhere over here is a village. There's the village. There's even a village up on the cliffs by the river. But then in view of the village is this mountain. Now the mountain range, it's not super tall, but that's okay. That's okay. The thing I love about it is if you go back and watch the first episode, there's a clip that shows about this section right here. Like I think it starts down here and comes up, or it starts up and comes down. So what I love about this is the extreme contrast from all the way down here in this canyon river to up here at the mountain peaks. And you also have the plains on the other side too, with like rolling hills and stuff, right? It's just so cool. But not only that, but down here, you come over here, there's a cool little cave over here. I don't think it's very big, but then down here, an even bigger cave, right? Oh yeah. It's so cool. And it looks like there's some holes to get up somewhere, maybe, or maybe that's just light from, oh, that's light from those things, whatever they're called. But anyway, so there's this cave, which is really cool looking. But then, even cooler than that. Ooh, I hadn't seen this one yet. Oh, yeah. Oh, we can go in here and get inside. Whoosh. Here's the middle of the cave, the mountain range. So the mountain range is like circular, right? There's this divot in the middle, literally a hole in the middle of the mountain range into an even more expansive cave. This little area right here is what sold me on it. And I'll show you, look, there's more down here. So cool. So let me show you, I actually installed Zero's, however you pronounce it, Zero's map mod to kind of give you an idea of where things are. So down here in the lower left, that's Starter Island. And then up here in the upper right, that's our mountain range. And then we've got the river, which actually ends over here, which is kind of cool. And then up here, we got plenty of access to ice. This is the snowy mountain biome that was on the docket to be voted on. And then, so anyways, this is going to be the area we're going to build in. Basically just draw a big rectangle right here. This is where we're going to build. Primarily along the river, but as we need to branch out, we can branch out. The other thing I love about this location is there's also another village up here. And more importantly, and we did not see this last time. Are you ready? Are you ready? We have a mesa. I am going to farm the crap out of this mesa. I love terracotta. Love it. So I'm really excited about that. These mountains look gorgeous. Oh man, but alas, they have to be destroyed. It's for the greater good. It's for the greater good. So yeah, so I've got that mod. That's a new mod I got installed. I also installed the mouse wheelie that I said I was going to do that allows me to sort inventories. One project I'm going to have to take on is beautifying this village though, because it has some of those janky paths, right? Like this here. So that's on the docket as well. But first we need to head back to Starter Island. So as I was exploring and flying around and looking at all the things, I just started thinking of all these different ideas, things that I could do. And like I have a great idea to do a tower in the middle of the mountain, but not like a normal tower, not like the spire, but like a donut tower, a donut spire. And what I mean by that is there's literally a hole going down the middle of it, right? All the way down into the cave. I just think it'd be so cool. But then I stopped myself. Remember? Count to 3, stop. Because I started getting stressed and I was missing the forest for the trees, so to speak. You know, when you're driving, I love analogies if you can't tell. You know, when you're driving, when you're learning to drive, they kind of teach you to like watch the road ahead, right? You want to be looking ahead. Okay, that's true to an extent. You don't want to look too far ahead because then you're going to miss somebody walking out in front of your car, right? When you're starting a new world in Minecraft, be careful not to look too far ahead. Focus on what you have now. Focus on what you're going to do now. And here's the thing with starter bases, starter areas. And I kind of talked about this last time, but here's the philosophy we're going to use is we're going to choose one of 3 options for a starter area, okay? The starter area needs to either be hidden so that it's just out of the way and maybe it's always there, maybe you remove it later, doesn't matter, whichever. It needs to be easily destructible, something you can go back to later and be like, oh, okay, great, this served its purpose, but now I'm going to take a few minutes and just tear it apart. Which that's fine. That's kind of what I usually do. Instead, this time, I've discovered a third option, a future-proof option, but a future-proof option that doesn't force us to go too quick or like force ourselves to like build some cool thing out of just a bunch of wood that we have, because I don't have a ton of stone yet. Oh, by the way, I need to show you my mining area. I'm pretty proud of this. Speaking of things being hidden and discreet. So my thought is what we're going to do with this starter island. Huh? That's pretty cool, right? It's out of the way. Yeah, I looked in this puddle and it turns out the puddle goes down into this big cave. I love this terrain generation. Look, it's just like a little puddle. And then nope. Scary hole of terror. So what we're going to do is we're going to future-proof this island by giving it a purpose in the final days. The way we design it now is not going to change in the future. It's going to serve a purpose. So here's what I want to do. I'm really excited about this. You know, last episode I mentioned Paul Soares Jr. and his How to Survive and Thrive, which is sadly outdated now. But I want to use this island to perhaps harken back to those simpler, older days. I want to build the cozy cottage that Paul Soares built. I want to do simple farms like this, like you might have seen, which actually I just realized. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Bless me. I just realized I need to redo this because I want this. Oh man, I got to redo the fencing too. I want this area to be as like old school Minecraft looking as possible. So I got to get rid of these path blocks. There were no path blocks back in my day, right? We didn't have path blocks. My thought is to toward the end of the world, or at some point, we celebrate the starter island. We celebrate our origin of Minecraft by turning this into almost like a monument type thing. Like I'm picturing like maybe even encased in glass, like a dome going over it, right? I'm even picturing that. And then like there's walkways going around it and around the dome up top that we can look in and see our starting area untouched as it was left. I think that's a really fun thing to do. And then that made me think of like a subtitle for this episode and a sub objective, so to speak. Or maybe if the look ahead, count to 3, stop didn't apply to you, think of it this way. Do quality planning, not quantity planning. You see, me planning out ideas of everything to do along that river in addition to what I'm going to do here to get started, that's quantity planning. I'm just going to chop the rest of these down now because if I need more, I'll just plant more. I don't even have any string yet to make scaffolding with. So what's the difference between quality and quantity planning? Quantity planning is, you know that meme where the guy is like holding too many things in his hands, right? And he can't contain them all. It's usually like for the Steam, well, the old Steam sales when they were actually good, stuff like that, right? That's quantity planning. But quality planning is, what can I do now that will be special later? And that was my idea for this area, is we're going to eventually turn it into a monument. And I want to what I want to do is we're going to go old school. So I'm going to switch all these dark oaks out to oak. Oak and birch and spruce. Is that all we had back then? Maybe it was just oak and birch. I'm going to go back and watch that Pulsaurus, because also, if that's the time I remember loving Minecraft the most, if that's the time I remember being excited about playing it and exploring it and stuff, let's literally do it. Let's take ourselves back to that time. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start working on revamping this, in particular, the farm, and building it up some, obviously, because I started off with just 1 wheat. And I think I'm even going to take the time to get some animals over here. I know there's a pig. Yeah, there's a pig over there. Oh, I need to install OK Zoomer so I can have my Optifine zoom. But there's a pig over there. I need to bring some animals onto this island because I think it'd be funny. Initially, I wasn't going to do animals, but like I think it'd be funny in this monument idea to it almost becomes like a biodome, right? Right? It becomes this biodome of Minecraft history. So that's my thought. That's what I'm going to kind of start working on off camera a little bit. I think next time, well, I don't know what we're going to do. I'll decide what I'm going to do. It may be that we build Pulsaurus's cozy cottage next time. I don't know. It'd be really fun. And I say Pulsaurus's. He stole the design, or it's not stole, but he got the design from someone else. But he's the one that made it famous. So, yeah, that'll do it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am really excited about this series. I'm also, I'm really excited about and thankful for these patrons whose names are scrolling right now. Bless you, patrons. You are awesome. If you'd like to be a patron, is $2 a month, and you get to play on the Patreon server, which right now we're doing a really cool mod pack. But anywho, I got trees to chop and things to build. We'll see you guys next time. Adios. Goodbye.